It was difficult to decide which Alice in Wonderland adaptation to review first, so I thought I might as well see what was available to view on Amazon, leaving me with two real choices: the 1985 version starring Natalie Gregory, or a version simply entitled Alice by Russian Surrealist director Jan Vankmajer. I've seen clips and they both look great, one being a jovial romp through Wonderland, the other a macabre nightmare. In the end, I chose the latter. Suffice to say, Alice is very different from your usual Hollywood flick, but surprisingly, the narrative never strays too far from Carol's original work. We begin with Alice on the riverbank, idly tossing stones into the water, an activity which continues indoors, this time into a teacup. Alice resides in what can only be described as dilapidated decadence. She lies surrounded by an array of curiosities. There is taxidermy and china dolls, once popular trinkets for those who could afford, nowadays the stuff of nightmares. The white rabbit begins his journey this way, a specimen on display, stripped of his identity. Perhaps this is how Alice feels, as these are clearly the visions of a troubled mind. Alice pleads with the rabbit to wait for her, but he is never within reach, and he repels her every way he can, the exception being the scene where he mistakes Alice for Mary Ann, sending her to fetch his scissors rather than his fan and gloves, like in the original tale. Externally, his house is made up of toy bricks, built up to look like a mansion. However, inside it is a rabbit hutch. The one room within the hutch that looks more fit for humans has rabbit droppings beneath the bed covers, reminiscent of Napoleon from Animal Farm or Uffe Ragnarsson from Northern Lights. They are trying to be something they are not. The Mad Hatter is a wooden tea-stained marionette, and the March Hare is a stuffed wind-up toy whose eye frequently pops out. Though there is very little dialogue, the tea party scene does feature many of the original lines, including the infamous "Why is a raven like a writing desk?" There is no dormouse, but instead what appears to be a dead mink, once considered a glamorous accessory. The caterpillar makes an appearance as a sock with false teeth and glass eyes that stitch themselves closed, but interestingly, the Cheshire Cat does not show up. Dialogue is kept to a minimum, verbatim snippets interchanged with similar but altered quotes, spread out throughout the film. The main tie-through being Alice pleading with the white rabbit, with an accompanying visual so close up you can see the spit bubbles. Despite Alice hardly speaking, her strong personality still shines through. She takes everything in her stride and never seems particularly disturbed. Perhaps because these creatures and happenings are a product of her own imagination, and perhaps that is what disturbs us most of all. Food is laced with pins and nails, the least grotesque foodstuff being the tarts, but they carry their own hidden danger. Stop frame animation is used throughout, creating a unique but also unsettling effect. Not uncommon for this animation type, but the use of everyday objects, food and taxidermy, rather than specially made models and sets, takes the art form to a whole new level of creepy. In conclusion, Jan Vankmajer's Alice is probably the most unforgettable interpretation of the text you are ever likely to encounter. A visionary masterpiece which seamlessly captures the fluidity of dreams, and, as with Carol's tale, the end leaves us wondering what all that madness could possibly mean. If you are easily freaked out, a child, or find it hard to watch anything that doesn't follow the Hollywood handy book, I'd give this film a miss. Otherwise, it's definitely worth checking out. And I'm giving it an impressive 8.5 out of a possible 10 cheeky Cheshire Cat grins. Be sure to let me know if you guys agree with my thoughts. And like and subscribe for more Wonderland related content.